Hello, Roger Whitehead with you again. Hey, I have a clip here that I'd like to have you view. It's been out for a while, but one of the major points I think that everyone should take from this clip is how far into the Trump Republican Party cult the so-called religious right is. Now, these are preachers, ministers, evangelists, whatever you want to call them, con men for the most part, because most of the religious people, or who claim to be religious in this promotion here that we're going to see, they're not really Christian. These are people seeking power. They're seeking money and power, and and none of them are Christians. None of them are believers in God Almighty. You can tell by the things they're saying and the things they're doing, because anyone who has the fear of God in them would not be saying or doing what they're doing. And some of these people are quite famous. They've been before the camera for a long time, especially some of these religious leaders. Maya Angelou said, when somebody tells you who they are, believe them. So let's watch and see what these people have to say.
I am the chosen one.
I think God calls all of us to fill different roles at different times, and I think that he wanted Donald Trump to become president, and that's why he's there.
Mr. President, I know there are people that say, you said you were the chosen one, and I said, you were.
What is your view kind of spiritually on the sovereignty of God and what he's doing exactly by putting Donald Trump as president of the United States?
Well, I think it goes to show that everything happens for a reason.
Could it be that President Trump right now has been sort of raised for such a time as this, just like Queen Esther, to help save the Jewish people from an Iranian menace?
As a Christian, I certainly believe that's possible.
I think that God sometimes places people for lessons and sometimes places people for change.
I am confident that the Lord is at work here.
Explain why you say that God has given President Trump the authority to attack North Korea.
The Bible, especially Romans 13, does give President Trump moral authority to use whatever force necessary, including assassination or even war, to topple an evil dictator.
The Reverend Franklin Graham says President-elect Donald Trump was put in the White House by God.
This election, no question, I believe God's hand was in it.
I see the greatest president in history. Of course he is. He was chosen by God.
God, in some reason, put him there for a purpose. I don't know what that is. But we need to get behind him and support him.
To say no to President Trump would be saying no to God.
Here we find these people who just sit around and praise as much as they possibly can. You've got somebody here like Sarah Huckabee Sanders, Mike Huckabee's daughter, and Nikki Haley, and Rick Perry, former governor of Texas, and Mike Pompeo. He was a former Secretary of State. And then you've got Pastor Robert Jeffries here. He's a senior pastor out there at the First Baptist Church in Texas. And Pastor Franklin Graham, Billy Graham's son. And Mike Lindell, my pillow guy. And last but not least is Paula White. Now, Donald Trump appointed her to be his spiritual leader in the White House. So the taxpayer, he made an office for her there. and the taxpayers paying her salary. Although Paula White, there is, well, she's always claimed that Donald Trump is actually God. She, there's, I think I had another posting on her where she come out and said, when I talk to Donald Trump, I'm talking to God. And, well, you heard her comment here. But the thing of it is that's really sad. For example, she is a multimillionaire. She's got thousands of people who send her money because she's supposed to be a religious leader. She's a preacher. She's a messenger from God. And she's a teacher. She is a minister of a church. Even though the Bible tells you that a woman is not to be a minister. But this is what we have. But this is who is promoting, defending, and supporting this pathological, lying despot, Donald Trump. There's more to see.
You really believe that God divinely interjected himself into the campaign and actually chose Donald Trump to win?
I absolutely believe that because I'm a Christian.
If you're a believing Christian, you understand God's plan for the people who rule and judge over us on this planet in our government.
He's authentically, whether people like it or not, has been raised up by God, because God says that he raises up and places all people in places of authority. It is God that raises up a king.
Trump's the best president for Israel in the history of the world, and the Jewish people love him like he is the king of Israel. They love him like he is the second coming of God.
Of course the president's not the king. The president's far more powerful than the king. The president has the power that kings have never had. He's very, very powerful office, and the framers wanted it that way.
I have to say, if you are a true Christian, you know these are a pack of liars, grifters, con men. But they fit right in with Donald Trump. Some of these so-called religious leaders just absolutely go too far. Carry on.
God gave us life, okay, and it's precious. We only have one life to live. And I believe that we need to do everything we can to protect life.
Here you hear Pastor Graham saying that you have only one life. We have to protect this life. This is the only life you have. And this is similar to a comment made by another religious phony, Joel Osteen, who wrote an entire book saying, this is your best life. My understanding was that most religious leaders and people who believe in God and believe in the word that is in the Bible, there is life after death if you believe in God. But according to Billy Graham's son, Franklin here, no, this is as good as it gets, folks. Well, it's absolutely sad. Let's carry on.
And I think the president, that's no question a focus of his. Mm-hmm. So I just pray for God to protect him and keep him safe, and that he'll bless this country.
Will you vote for President Trump in 2020?
Oh, well, let's see. Let's get to 2020 on election day. But I don't even know who he's running against right now. But I'm very proud of President Trump. And I would most likely see myself absolutely voting for him. Mm-hmm. But he has done what he said he was going to do. That is refreshing. He's not a politician. He's a businessman. And if he says he's going to do something, he does it. People talk about his lies. I don't know of any lies that he's told. People may disagree with his point of view. or his perspective, but that doesn't mean he's lied. He doesn't sit in the Oval Office and just say, I wonder what lies I can tell today. He doesn't do that.
Now here you have to recognize either Franklin Graham has become as much of a liar as Donald Trump, or he hasn't been paying attention over the 4 years that Donald Trump was president. During his term as president of the United States, Donald Trump made tens of thousands of false and misleading claims. Now, this is the Washington Post fact checker had tallied this at the end of his 4 years. The number was 30,573 absolute falsehood, misleading, untrue statements, which averages out at 21 a day for his 4 years in office. And this is all just within the 4 years. It's not since he's been involved in the Republican Party. 30,573 they could substantiate as being out and out lies or an extreme misleading falsehoods. And well, you just heard this man here who says he's a man of God said he doesn't believe Donald Trump has ever lied. And this goes back a interview that Lester Holt had with Donald Trump. This was back in, I think it was 2017. It was like a year after he'd been in office. And everybody was beginning to realize what a pathetic liar this man is. And Lester Holt asked Donald Trump, have you ever asked God for forgiveness? Donald Trump's answer, why no. I've never done anything I needed to be forgiven for. But Pastor Graham gives him a pass. He's an honest man. He doesn't know that he's ever told a lie. This is sad, very sad. Well, until we have the opportunity to talk again, I pray that everyone will stay safe, protect the family. Above all, love your brothers and sisters, as Jesus Christ asked us to do. Goodbye.